Hello and welcome back to 709 Meridian, an audio commentary podcast. My name's Andrew.
And this is D.
And we are wrapping up our rock single title, not mega hit, though I guess Rampage was, season of Rock's attempts to break free of, well, I guess at this point, Fast and the Furious. But and we're finishing it up with 2013's Snitch, directed by Rick something something Wah, who is a stuntman and whose brother is a stuntman and whose dad's a stuntman, but his brother directed Expendables 4, or however you're supposed to pronounce that. So I think the brother might have directed something a little bit more interesting looking. The film Snitch stars Dwayne Johnson as Missouri businessman John Matthews. Do not worry, you will not see any tattoos in this film. We will also watch The Rock get his ass kicked, even though people say that he has a rider in his I mean, not being willing to get your ass kicked by Vin Diesel when you're a professional athlete seems like a totally okay rider in a contract. Like, just being like, I'm not going to get my ass kicked by Vin Diesel while he's sitting on a couch eating, I don't know, Cheetos, whatever Vin Diesel sits and snacks on.
Onions. Bugles.
God. I'm just trying to picture Vin Diesel keeping Bugles alive, right? So the film co-stars Susan Sarandon, Barry Pepper, John Barenthal. Harold Perrineau makes the poster credits, and he is in one scene. He might only be in one shot. So we have that to look forward to. Benjamin Bratt shows up, doing his part to demonize Mexican nationals and Mexican Americans as apparently his bit. What else do we have? I feel like that's about it. We have the chick from CSI New York, and then we have wife characters for The Rock and John Barenthal, who we'll have to see if they get names past Honey and Sweetie. And yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one, folks. I don't think we've knowingly, D hasn't made it through this. I did last night. I don't think we've ever watched anything this boring that it's this long. So buckle up. We are going to be talking about probably some other movies too. So enjoy, everybody. All right. You ready for this?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go.
Don't worry, we got 5 minutes. The opening titles are actually the Family Guy bit about the movie not starting, or is that the Simpsons? Whichever one, where they're like, "Oh, oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet."
They probably both did it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of Family Guy is just just Simpsons jokes with
raunchier Simpsons jokes.
Raunchier Simpsons jokes. All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so Summit from the peaks of Lionsgate. If you don't remember, Summit Entertainment was a not indie publisher, not indie studio, but they were exclusive media. Looks like the intro to some of the cheap movies that stream on Tubi. But no, Summit got bought out by Lionsgate, but for like a hot minute, they were also trying to be a sort of genre-y B-tier studio, and they just couldn't make it work. At the time, I always enjoyed them more than Lionsgate, just because Lionsgate had such crap. All right. So here is a young man on the phone with another young man. Um, at this point, when I realized that this was the level of, I mean, this is basically the third or fourth biggest role in the movie is a
Mm.
kid here. Just because there's so little, I mean, just we're gonna have multiple scenes of The Rock just begging John Barenthal to do things. RIP Skype, it is officially over. I believe they've sunsetted Skype. So, oh, yes, and everybody buckle up for what the moral of the movie is going to be at the end. Is that St. Louis? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We talk about being in Missouri.
Mm.
Uh,
Missouri.
and then, okay, so The Rock is just a successful businessman, like
He's never just a guy.
they
I've
try
noticed.
with this one, but it fails completely.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But like, I don't think you'd ever see him at like the same. What do you call? He wouldn't be an Axel Foley.
No, no. Well, I mean, they try in this one to get people who are like that guy was taller than him. They
Hmm.
try not to emphasize the fact that he's
Right, a slab hard bulk,
I was gonna say muscle bound grotesque. Um,
spliff hard body.
yeah. Um, McBain, just him in a fucking bad blonde hairpiece as McBain. Let's do it. Uh, Arnold can dub the voice. Like, I'm fine with that. Okay. John Barenthal. So we were wondering what John Barenthal was like early in his career. He's
Pretty much the same.
pretty much the same. He's got a little bit more of in this one, what's the guy from Luke Cage?
Oh, Coulter?
No. Yes, no, he does
Oh,
not have Luke Cage vibes. He has Theo Rossi
Theo
vibes
Rossi?
in this
Ah,
one.
there you
Yeah.
go.
I kept watching it going, I mean, they should have just gotten Theo Rossi. Like, that would have been better.
Yeah, because Bernthal kind of skews a little older.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, many of these movies feel like the actors are too old um, to still be doing these types of parts, like in general in the genre. Like you've got Frank Grillo at the age of 60 or whatever still doing things like cheaper versions of this, right? Like because what we have here is wait for it. Uh,
Damn.
yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of handheld, everybody. Rick Roman Wah, that's who it is. He loves his handheld digital video, so get ready for that. Um, could be worse. So this is basically a whole subgenre of red box movies. Oh, the poor drug involved, flyover state white boys. So yeah, so I don't think we were recording when I referred to this as UPN traffic, an episode of UPN traffic, but
Oh, yeah. It's the one where Pepper's the head of it.
yeah, Pepper's your recurring character. He got, the pilot was all about him, but then they were like, hey now, we don't have Barry Pepper money. Um, okay, so that is not the Rock's wife. That's the Rock's wife. Don't worry.
Oh,
You don't need to
far out.
recognize her. She doesn't have a name.
Uh,
Is that
that's
somebody?
no, that's Nadine Velasquez
Okay. I'll
from
bet.
My Name Is Earl
Okay.
and Flight, of which she had a very memorable opening scene.
Flight the Denzel Washington one?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, the movie's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we have Melina Cascateris or whatever.
Now
Her
that's
name
who
is.
I said should have played Scarlet Witch back in the day.
I can see that. I mean,
She would have been a great Wanda.
I think we'll be seeing the de-ethnicizing of the MCU for either a few years or the end of time, whichever one that works with, whichever timeline it turns out we're in. But um, so this is how this movie's gonna go. The Rock's gonna go talk to somebody. They're gonna say, go talk to somebody else. So he's gonna go then talk to somebody else.
All right, she's the ex-wife.
She's the
Mm,
ex-wife. They were high school sweethearts, which I just I guess I'm just curious, like Chris Pine, I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast, but I am of the belief that Chris Pine can basically get a charismatic performance out of any co-star. He's done it with Gal Gadot, he's done it with Michelle Rodriguez. What The Rock seems to need for a romantic
yeah,
partner is somebody who can pull some.
somebody can match him in a way. Oh wait, is that
That's Harbor, dude.
that hard? Yeah.
I was staring at him the whole scene, like, who the hell is this guy? He looks like he belongs in a Mission Impossible movie from like Mission Impossible 3. He's one of the exposition dumpers, and I was like, dude, that's Harbor. Pre
Uh,
Stranger Things, baby.
yeah.
But clearly, he's only got this fucking part because he's as tall as The Rock or taller. Like,
Yeah, because he can actually look him in the eye,
yeah, it's
not
such
looking
a.
up to him.
I think that's why Melina Katsateris is in it too, is because she's got to be like 5'7" or 5'8", because she's like not
Yeah,
not having to
short.
look down on her in the scene. It's just a very strange. Well, I thought this was one of the ones that The Rock didn't produce. We were talking about that with Faster, but no, this is one that he and his ex-wife business manager, Danny Garcia, queenmaker failure of the DCEU run by Black Adam. Um,
Mm.
they produced this. So like they thought this was a good vehicle for The Rock.
Oh shit! Wait, angry black lady judge.
I don't think she has a line, don't worry.
No, sit down, young man.
Can discuss if we want to get into it
He's that sassy
how
black judge.
the film
Have a
treats
seat, son.
the black folks in it. It's not. There's a very strange vibe to it that you're just like, okay, that's a little weird.
Oh no.
I don't. Yes, she
Oh
doesn't get a line. She just stares
damn.
angrily.
They
They weren't
just
gonna.
they just the power of her stare just
They were like, "You're not getting a SAG card for this, but can you stare at him?" All right. So now this is a fun one because it's all about The Rock running up against how bootstraps is not actually um, a thing. So he's bitching about his teenage son. That's weird. I'm pretty sure The Rock said that Vince McMahon was just an irresponsible young man who didn't know better at the age of 70 while he was committing sexual assault, right? Like,
Oh,
so now we get this again. We got to talk about this a bit, folks. We got to talk about being a snitch. So
yeah, what happened to his friends? I was in on it.
that guy turned him in. That guy got
Mm.
busted mailing it and turned him in. But he's not willing to turn in his friends. I just spoiled that for you.
He's not snitching.
He's not going to snitch. But um, the movie's like a Wikipedia article about mandatory minimums and how those are designed to force people to roll over on drug related associates. Otherwise, you go to prison for 10 years. Um, the, given the very specific sort of context of informing and trapping, snitching, whatever, the movie should have like a title like, Statute 1414.7 BC starring Dwayne Johnson. But instead, it's called Snitch, except he never snitches on anybody. He is an undercover, like, he's a fucking. Well, it's weird because they're actually
Well,
totally okay with him killing people too, the DEA. Um,
well, wasn't he former
no,
some sort of
he
no?
isn't former
He
anything. He
can't.
doesn't have any tattoos. There's no implication he's got anything more than a really, deep skin tan, this one, because he's been working so hard. Like, maybe he was adopted. Okay, here we are. We are 15 minutes in and we're seeing the two semis. Now, there was a disposable exposition phone call about how happy Dwayne Johnson is to get these semis and how it's going to change um his business. It's going to be
Oh,
successful because of the semis he's going to be able to do.
well, they don't turn into robots though.
No, because that'd be too exciting. This movie would be so much better if the semis turned into GoBots during one of the scenes. Has he been in
Well,
Transformers movie?
I don't think so. Well, he does a voice in
Okay.
I think Transformers One.
Okay, so here is Susan Sarandon playing a hard ass US district attorney. I thought Susan Sarandon was going to be doing a down in the holler drug queen a la
Oh.
who
Oh,
did that so well on Justified. What's her face? Who basically turned it into a career comeback on Justified. Who was that? That was no,
mm.
just show me the damn Justified. I don't. What is going on? It's like showing me Red One. Why would you do that? That's not there. It is. All right. Justified season two, Martindale. It was Margot Martindale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she just has this fucking badass scene or season as this uh yeah rural, where's that, wherever,
Mm.
drug queen pin. No, instead it is Susan Sarandon as a heartless U.S. attorney, um who, like, Harold Perrineau is about to show up to make her less likable, and she's one of the good guys, it turns out. This is about
Oh,
her being a good guy, and
oh,
mandatory minimums are good.
she's doing the Alec Baldwin.
She's doing the Alec Baldwin. She's not doing the Joan Allen from Death Race, where Joan Allen brings just. I think Joan Allen said that she agreed to do it because her either her agent said it'd be great for her sizzle reel or she thought it'd be great for her sizzle reel. There's none of that. This is, we got Susan Sarandon to wear the same suit for a day and filmed her in an office a couple times and then drove some outside, and then she went outside the office building to do a shot. Like,
They were a block away from her protest site.
well, that's the thing, is it's very like Susan Sarandon is more known now for her um
Whacktivism.
I wasn't going to say, yeah, I wasn't going to say successful activism. um Susan Sarandon is more known today for centering her cameos in other people's events. uh so, but what she's playing here is she's playing, against that type, except they don't do anything with it because
Mm.
The Rock is not comfortable saying that, the DEA is wrong for any of this stuff, just as long as it's okay for him. What they do is fine. It's just when they come after is okay. The other thing that I didn't understand here was is this thing seems perfectly primed for him to get thrown into the same jail and pound some heads to save his son or something.
Mm.
Does not come up. Instead, we get this. But your
Okay,
mother's a bitch.
he's like this. Why is his son not? Why does his son look like he hasn't done any push-ups? Like, that's why I guess Dwayne Johnson had to sort of really tone it down for this. We're
I
supposed to
mean,
believe he's beta.
yeah. Oh, we're about to watch him get his just ass kicked. Like,
They made him a big old big for nothing.
this is like a this is like a part for John C. Riley or something, right? Like, this is like,
Because he's so mid. He is almost acting like he's on like downers or some shit.
Mhm. I'm the Rock, but I'm a real rock. Look at my slightly chapped lips. I'd never let my lips be slightly chapped in real life. I wake up, work out for 2 hours, shower twice, moisturize, including my lips. Chapstick.
Somebody was peeking at the fresh fish.
Does not matter. Don't worry.
No,
Nope. Doesn't
he doesn't.
matter.
He doesn't do
Doesn't
one of the. He doesn't give his dad a. My ass isn't worth a pack of cigarettes in here, Dad.
No, they'll talk around it at one point though, and it won't go anywhere because we're not gonna have the kid back for a fucking another scene. Like, come on now. We only got Milena Kateris to shoot at the fucking prison twice, or one morning. We can't, do a lot of interior shots there. I
Mm.
would be curious. I mean, obviously, we've talked about on the pod how some movies you're just like, it'd be more interesting to watch a documentary about the making of it. That's not the case with this one, though. It would probably make for a more interesting episode if we just had the call sheet and we could talk about like how quickly they filmed it and who was in what shot together and like just whether or not they really did shoot Susan Sarandon in one day. Whether or not they found out Harold Piernew was doing a connecting flight through St. Louis and we're like, huh? Huh?
Hey, come on. We got the camera set up.
You get paid for a day, Harold.
Let's scale.
You're
Go,
years
just
from
do it.
Lost, bro. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. This is going to be a thing that he does throughout the movie. He sets up to record his interact. Oh, wait, it does come back for one of them. It doesn't come back with this one. Also, the camera will come back, and it doesn't make any sense that this is what he's using it for. Get
This is
ready.
some fake death wish bullshit right here.
Yep. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh man.
Hold on. Wait for it. Almost there. Yeah, here we go. Action.
Oh,
Action, everybody. Here we have action
oh.
scene number one, 24 minutes in.
And he just goes down that fast, huh?
Yep. Because he can't fight. Because
Right.
nobody can see his tattoos. So, like, if you can't see his tattoos, The Rock doesn't have any power. It's very, very sad.
Ugh.
What is interesting is The Rock was still really obnoxious in the Fast and the Furious movies at this point. Like, I mean, he was funny and he was developing the bit, but he was not like. I thought it took him a while to learn how to emote, but clearly he had that down early and I mean, he had Rock emoting down, but they didn't need him to do it in Fast and the Furious.
Because he's a He-Man in those movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
so he's supposed to talk weird or tough. he's supposed to jump out of 12-story buildings and land
Right.
on a car.
All I could think during her during this scene when I was watching it last night as I was remembering Neil
You
deGrasse
know,
Tyson on the jury when he's like, wait, you're talking about like an eighth of a millionth of a thing? Like you're talking about two flecks of drugs? And they dismissed him from the jury pool.
that looked kind of like a Cannonball Run 2, how they shot Sinatra
Oh, I mean,
from
yeah,
over the shoulder.
clearly. Yeah. Like, we're taking forever to get to John Barenthal here, too. Just like forever.
Mm.
So now his plan is he's going to approach cons, the ex-cons that work for him,
Mm.
which seems problematic and will come up at length with John Barenthal explaining to him why um,
He's got a scowl in his
mhm.
ID picture. What you looking at?
I just wonder what else is happening in the universe where John Barenthal stars in a weekly Adventures of Travis Bickle. Like, is it a better world overall, or is it a worse one?
That would be wow.
Mhm. He's like absurdly perfect for like a
Yeah,
well,
taxi driver series.
yeah. I mean,
Or just to make it dated, Travis has moved from driving taxis to being an Uber driver.
but it's Travis Bickle Jr. or the third, and he doesn't know. And he's like, hmm, okay, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. I told you folks we'd be talking about things besides this delightful movie because now The Rock is laying out his lie to John Barenthal for why he wants to
And for the first time in the movie, he's trying to turn the charm on a bit. He's giving him that smile.
yeah, we're just a couple working Joes.
Well, you and me were the same here.
You gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps, John Barenthal. Okay. No, so after Taxi Driver,
No, he's the son of
Sybil Shepherd feels bad enough for Travis that he gets some
right.
action. She runs off because she's pregnant. So then we have the John whoever's going to play John Barenthal's dad, who is actually Travis Bickle Jr. but doesn't know it, and John Barenthal is the one who finds out who his dad was. We can have a whole microfilm at the library scene. Sadly, in reality, that wouldn't be John Barenthal. This would be like a fucking Ashton Kutcher tough guy
Uh,
thing. Like we did not end up in that universe, thank God, but there is a universe where we dealt with a goateed Ashton Kutcher as a drug kingpin for like what if he'd gotten the Miles Teller ambitions instead of just, you know, helping Danny Masterson escape accountability. And didn't he also cape for a child molester? Like, not just a rapist, but a child molester? Like,
oh, they all did,
oh,
except what you call them. They all got everybody's back except Topher.
which is surprising given where Topher's career has gone, but still,
Well,
I mean,
Topher stayed out of trouble but paid for it, I guess.
yes, Topher didn't bond very well with his co-stars who were busy facilitating.
Uh oh.
All
Uh
right.
oh.
So
Oh, this isn't Frank Castle. This is
no, this is
they're in the body.
yes. So I think they actually say when he meets up with Michael K. Williams, I think they actually say something like, "We were like the United States of Benetton as drug dealers. We were so diverse."
Man.
What a day that was when we were an inclusive gang. I told you we should just watch Bullet. Like I told,
Mm,
we can't. I mean,
like
there's no like Bullet's even technically Bullet's actually a character study, so like that's not gonna be fun to talk about.
that's. Wait a minute. Who's in that?
Bullet's Mickey Rourke, Adrian Brody,
Oh,
Tupac, and
that one. Yeah.
what's his face?
Hmm.
Serial killer from Silence of the Lambs.
Ted Lang
Ted Lang. No,
or Ted Levine.
Ted Ted Levine, yeah.
Ted Lang.
As young Jewish thugs, a family of young Jewish thugs who've disappointed their mothers or their mother, and especially their father. It's a family drama.
Yeah,
You know what? Nobody makes big swigs like that anymore. Like, Adrian Brody's the perfect age to do a fucking legacy quill to it. You should fucking man up.
mm. No, so Bernthal is not Italian in this, huh?
Barenthal is, I mean, he will speak Spanish
Mm.
later on, but his name is Daniel James. He is, you know, drug. We don't actually get his origin story, so it doesn't matter. Like,
Mm. Yeah, this is one of those.
well, it's just like the dialogue's all out of a what if. I don't even know what network or cable station would have had to do like tough after school specials. This is like the Showtime after school. This,
HBO life stories,
no, because those were still too.
a little soft,
Yeah, those were too soft. This needs to be.
but
They need
no,
to.
they made the one with roided out Ben Affleck punching that wall.
Shit, that's right. I didn't know it was about roids. Ben Affleck just needs to. I don't know. Ben Affleck doesn't need. Man,
They made my favorite one. Um, with Sam Rockwell.
oh damn, really? Okay.
Yeah, the one they made us watch it in class that time, where he was drunk driving.
Though maybe that's why I would have recognized Sam Rockwell somewhere, but no, I don't.
Yeah, he was the drunk driver who, instead of going to jail for life or whatever, he had to write a check to the family every week for 18 years and shit.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
his
I think
punishment, the family, they had leniency on him. They said, okay, we know he's around the same age as our daughter, and our daughter's life was just starting, so we'll tell him to write a check for $1 every week for every year
oh,
she was alive. 18 years.
okay. Jesus Christ.
And if he missed, because at first he tried to just tally it all up and pay it once. And they were like, no, every week.
Think about how cheap stamps were back then too. Um,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yes, so here we have
This isn't the crack house run by Jim Brown, is it?
It is not. It is your
Oh,
Michael K. Williams of The Wire.
oh well, he's got a monopoly of them.
I really want to watch that show he did, because it wasn't this.
Mm.
He did
Yeah,
some.
why did they elect him to be always the
I mean, it paid, and they
Yeah,
probably only had him for 2 days. So,
that's true.
do you remember when Ed Norton was hyping that he was in Hulk?
Right. For the what the 2.5
One,
frames he was in,
did he even have a line?
he didn't have line at all.
Ed Norton's like, I don't know if you watch this show called The Wire, but I do, and it's got this great actor on it named Michael K. Williams. He's going to be having an integral role in the Hulk. I
Oh
made
wow.
sure of that. I wanted to look out for Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. I'm Ed Norton. And then that was like the only thing was I wanted the
His
director's
cameo,
cut where that it's all about him.
his cameo was one of those cameos. Was like, was that him or not?
Right.
Till
Like
somebody
who would
like
know? Yeah.
confirms that it was him.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk some 38 minutes in, everybody. We're not anywhere near halfway yet.
Didn't
Yeah,
Stupid know to take his wedding ring off first? Mm,
this just reminds me of I must have mentioned it. There's this article in the LA Times about the guys who run Millennium Films or whatever it's called. And basically, I think it was the one where they talk about how they were exploiting Bruce Willis's brain damage. But there's also a bit in there about how Al Pacino was in some movie with some rich lady who wanted to be an actress.
mm,
And he was like the um texting the producer complaining about how bad she was, and it came out in Discovery.
mm.
And Pacino's like, I mean, you're paying me 3.5 million for this one, so I'm giving you, you know, a B minus, C plus Al Pacino. This lady's not even bringing a D. Like, can you imagine how embarrassing this would be for me if I was actually trying right now?
Mm.
And it's just like, the behind the scenes on all those De Niro movies with 50 Cent, all of the Pacino ones. It's just got to be hilarious. Just them sitting there counting their fucking money. What I'm saying is that Michael K. Williams is giving a very low energy performance here.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem with this sort of subgenre is. And I mean, The Rock is an outlier in this. If this were David Harbour in the lead, we
Mm.
wouldn't like it wouldn't have even blipped
Well,
past like a red box.
you feel some kind of desperation going. There's got to be a kind of, I don't know. He seems to just be going through the motions.
It also doesn't help. I just realized every one of the people at the table has a different, slightly different angle for their conversation, and it's kind of distracting.
Mm.
Um, Rick Roman Waugh needs to read Making Movies by Sidney Lumet. We could send him a copy, but since we're never going to do the Angel Has Fallen quartet, we don't need to. Though Greenland is getting a sequel, I discovered that last night. Yes, so John Barenthal's nickname is Cruiser. I do like that Michael K. Williams is basically only giving it 10% more energy than
They got him on that chair like he's a puppet or something.
yeah. He's like, I'm gonna move my arm and point. And you said you'd give me another $7,000 for that, right? Right? Okay, here it goes. You can use this in the trailer. Okay, if this was actually shot Panavision aspect and not cropped down from the fucking 16 by 9 camcorder, that's even worse, I think. Like, look at the headroom. Like, give me big dude should get to have the top of a head. I'm just saying. Like,
Looks like Filmation with all that close up.
well, because he just came out back. He's about to go in for the scene with John Barenthal. Okay, here he is, everybody. Harold Perrineau Jr. literally slept on since 1996. This guy should have Sam Rock. I don't know. Almost Sam Rock. I mean, Sam Rockwell
People
shouldn't
should
even have.
know him.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell
Most
shouldn't have
people
Sam Rockwell's career, but yeah,
should know him by name at least, and
definitely.
not just wheelchair guy from Oz.
He's at
Like,
least
why is he
sheriff
still?
from now. He's sheriff from now
Oh,
with the youth. So there is that. He at least gets that. It's not even. Man, he just has to hold that show together so much. There's such bad acting on that show.
uh-oh.
Okay. Was Barry Pepper on Sons of Anarchy?
I don't know.
He's in the Christian film now, I believe.
He's the guy that's undercover with the Sons.
Maybe he's
That would be
not.
funny.
Maybe I'm being mean and he's not in Christian movies. I mean, he's in really shitty movies, but he was also in the Maze Runner franchise.
Oh.
He was in Kill the Messenger, which was one of those Jeremy Renner movies where you're supposed to pretend we're. Hey, holy shit, Michael K. Williams is in that too. Listen to the fucking cast. Is this from the same producers as this? Hold on. No, this is a Scott Stuber. That's the dude who made The Wolfman and movies with Peter Berg. Okay, so Kill the Messenger 2014. You've got, oh, hey, it's the same fucking. Wait a second. Did you just reuse that same pensive prison footage? Okay. Listen to this movie that we're not watching. Listen to this cast. Jeremy Renner, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Michael Sheen, Ray Liotta, Robert Patrick, Andy Garcia, Paz Vega, Michael Kenneth Williams, Rosemary DeWitt, Tim Blake Nelson, Barry Pepper, Oliver Platt. I didn't even get to Oliver Platt yet when I decided to read this out loud. And Richard Schiff, co-starring Lucas Hedges, Gil Bellows, Dan Futterman, Susan Walters, Is that the last name I recognize? It is. It's that's a lot of fucking. I was either a movie star or a TV star.
Hmm.
Also, this whole thing where they just like can't keep their hands off of each other is a little weird. Like,
Yeah, Gibbs, they should have more than one kid in there.
mhm. The kid timeline does not work great with his prison sentences either. Like,
Uh,
oh, but Barry Pepper was not in. I got distracted. I don't think he was in Sons of Anarchy. Probably because he was like, I want the lead role, and they were like, no, it's going to this guy. What was that kid's name?
uh,
The blonde one who's in the blonde one who's in Charlie Hunnam, the one who's
uh,
theoret- ostensibly the star of Rebel Moon, right? Like, or is he
uh,
not? Okay, I forgot that Barry Pepper fucking worked. Barry Pepper was in Highlander the series. Barry Pepper
uh,
was in A Killer Among Friends, starring Patty Duke when she was younger than we are now. Tiffany Thiessen, David Kubit, who you will recognize but not be familiar with anymore because he's terrible. Um, and somewhere in that movie is Barry Pepper. He then was in Viper. He was in an episode of Sliders. He was
uh,
in Outer Limits. He was in The Sentinel. He was in the Titanic TV movie with Peter Gallagher and Catherine Zeta-Jones, which also has an amazing cast. No, not really, actually. It has somewhat of an amazing cast. He was a bit player in Dead Silence, the HBO original with Marley Matlin and James Garner. And then his breakthrough was Saving Private Ryan, but then he made the choice to be the lead in Battlefield Earth. But I mean, like, he got to do his own Ripley movie. Tom Ripley, not Ellen Ripley. Um,
uh,
got to do some we he got to be the fucking in the live action got to be the white guy who romances the Princess of Hawaii. I'm sure it's not at all a problematic film. And then he was in True Grit. He played RFK Senior. What a bad universe we're in. So no, actually, I apologize, Barry Pepper. You did not end up in a bunch of fucking Christian movies. He was also in Lawman Bass Reeves with oh
uh.
yeah, David. Oh, yeah. Oh hey, and Dennis Quaid. Okay, but
Well, that
anyway,
maybe there's
yeah.
your possibly.
Oh, the Gateway. Dennis Quaid will be like, "Hey, you want some real money? You know what's gonna pay for facelifts and 22-year-old wives?"
Hmm.
I saw somebody going, "Hey, remember when everybody was like, hey, it's really weird that Randy Quaid is on a meth-filled crime spree that's ending with a live sex tape with him in a Rupert Murdoch mask?" And when they were like, "Actually, no, he's going to be one of our role models."
Mm.
Also, can we talk about how caps don't really fit the Rock's head very well?
Because its head's shaped like a damn bullet.
Like, that is not a good hat head, and he should know that. Like, where's his personal style consultant on this one? Should not have fired that person or told that person that this was a real life one, so you don't need to be here. Is this a shootout? Is this our shootout? Yeah, so they have driven down to Texas to get their first load delivered or
Hmm.
on put on the truck so they can drive it back to Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams, for all we know, is the Rick Jones of the MCU. We don't know.
Well, they'll never introduce him anyways, lazy bastards.
Like, no shade to Rick Jones, but he is sort of the perfect thing they need for their to appeal to their to reappeal to their a certain vocal demographic in their base.
Mm-hmm.
They would just love. God, I don't even know though.
Hmm.
That's kind of the problem is like Chris Pratt is the biggest in virtue whistle casting you can really do.
Hmm.
Because it's not like you're gonna have Jim Caviezel as Rick Jones. Kevin Sorbo's too old, right? There's no young Kevin Sorbo.
No.
There's no oh God, you know who actually well, no, because I'm getting sick of him doing the same thing.
Who?
Jack Quaid is Rick Jones.
Right. No, absolutely not. You need somebody around his.
Yeah,
Yeah. I see what you mean, though. Yeah.
yeah.
Someone Jack Quaid-ish. Dylan O'Brien, since everybody keeps throwing his name out.
Who's the one that we liked in Saturday Night? Who was Dan Aykroyd?
Dylan O'Brien.
I mean, they could do worse.
No, let him be female and
Yes, let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. Let's make sure
Ricky
she
Jones.
let's make sure she has a social media presence and fan base who value interacting with
I
her
know.
there.
It's
Hey,
Ricky Jones and it's Rachel Sennett.
you know who's oh God, not funny. But I'm like, you know who's not busy right now, who they just love to cast? Or who's not busy right now, who I really like? The chick who plays Rose Tico. Oh wait.
Oh
What's
wow.
so
Yeah.
fucked up is the Rose Tico thing happened. There was also a delightful um Asian American girl on Legends of Tomorrow who
Mm-hmm.
disappears, and I can only assume that it's because of backlash. But I'm
Damn.
like, she was delightful, and then she
Jeez.
just disappears for one cameo back. That also could just be they have no fucking money. I mean, I'd love to see the books on that show. I'm sorry, everybody, you're watching Sicario Zero here. Snitch. Sicario Zero budget.
Bang bang.
Didn't I like Benjamin Bratt something and like have to like take back some of my comments
Well,
about his acting?
he should have been heir apparent to Jimmy Smits. And I'd say, I still like Blood In, Blood Out.
That's right. Still need to see blood. But like, yes, the Jimmy Smith sort of, you know,
Jimmy Smits is still good.
yeah. I mean, Jimmy Smith sort of. Okay, well, some of the problem is like these are there's a whole generation of non-white actors who had to do propaganda shows in the 90s where they half
Yeah.
their lives were looking at someone who looked like them as a teenager saying racism is not real. Stop lying about police officers. And that might drain Edward's stuff. Like, though Benjamin Bratt was on Law and Order, which got around that to the case that it very rare, as they revealed, like, I think it was in, did John Oliver do a thing on Law and Order? And they were like, no, 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 Law and Order. It's always the bad guy's always gonna be a white guy. And they were like, this actually creates a disproportional expectation of the criminal justice system and how it functions, and makes people think they know what CSI means or what it does. And okay, so here we have them getting Michael K. Williams out for a night shoot.
He's just standing there.
Yep. I mean, when you think about it, that means that they got a little bit more activity out of him for Hulk. Like he did come out of the doorway, right? Or he turned his head and went,
Barry Pepper is the guy they otherwise say is a loose cannon.
right.
This is your last chance.
Are we even halfway
Screw this
through
one up.
this movie yet? We're only halfway through this movie. It's good it only took two bullets in the automatic weapon gunfight. Okay, so now we're going to start our second act subplot of John Barenthal being suspicious of The Rock. Will this actually matter in any significant way? Turns out no.
Huh.
I mean, it will fuel parts of the movie, but it will not like bring much weight to anything. Okay, so who's The Rock calling? How long is that Righteous Kill movie, that one with De Niro and
Uh-huh.
do they make you sit for 2 hours? 101. That's right. They made an Inside Man direct-to-video sequel.
What?
You didn't know about that?
Hmm.
Holy shit, they filmed it overseas too. Oh, it's
But it
MJ
has
Bassett. I like that guy.
no ties to the original, right?
Hmm. Characters created by, let's see if anybody reprises their role. Five years after Dalton Russell's gang stole
Uh,
from the bank of Arthur Case, exposing him as a Nazi collaborator. A group of bank robbers led by Ariella Barash take over the Federal Reserve Bank of New York and take everyone in the building hostage. Their goal: to steal a large stash of Nazi gold stored inside the building.
Uh,
Starring Roxanne McKee, Canadian-born British actor and best known for the Channel 4 soap opera Holly Oakes.
uh,
It's some white girl.
uh,
It is some white girl who the Wikipedia editor felt the need to say she never had any fucking acting lessons.
uh,
The holy shit. The negotiator is best known as Trevor from Kittlehood, Harry's Law, the first season of Sense8, the first Maze Runner movie. Okay, why would you make Inside Man 2? Lee confirmed they were making a sequel in 2009. 2018, it's not gonna, or 2011, it's not gonna happen. He couldn't secure funding.
uh,
2018, there's just gonna be a sequel. So presumably the sequel rights reverted to Universal, who was more than happy to do a dirt cheap sequel in direct-to-video sequel because they didn't have to involve Spike or anybody from the first one.
uh.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, they did that to Method Man and Redman. They went ahead with a How High too. Damn shame. Ugh.
I mean, they did that so much. It kind of this whole like you can just recast. How did they get? Okay, so they drove Michael K. Williams and the guys over from where they were shooting that outdoor smoking scene, gave him a hoodie, and
Mm.
all right. Yeah, I mean, I just watched it. I forgot they got him outside. Um, on location, as it were. Ugh. Yeah, the in name only sequel. Well, because they were all basically just like remakes of the original for direct to video in hopes that you would spin it off into another one starring the person from the recast, but then recasts wouldn't come back, and such a strange like.
Yeah, it is.
Well, because it's basically just like one level up from when the asylum was like, actually, no, we can just make something called the Transmorphers, and tons of people rent it thinking it's Transformers. You're just like, really? It's like for 4 years they did because we made a bunch of these. Okay, let's talk some more. This is so exciting.
Mm. Yeah, this one is. Oh my God. It needs some sort of energy that
I mean, it's UPN traffic. I mean, it's like, what year was Sicario even? Was that 20? That was after this.
it's like if you look at Barry Pepper's character, he should be having fun looking like that.
Well, no, man, he's haunted. He's a
Yeah, he's too stone cold serious.
he's a stone cold veteran of the drug wars, man. Dude, John Barenthal is in fucking Sicario.
Mm.
Sicario's 2015.
Huh.
I've never seen Sicario, but I assume oh, it was written by Taylor Sheridan and produced by one of the producers of this movie.
I have to watch it again. I just remember the end scene. Huh?
All right. My Name is Earl was off by this time, right? Like,
Uh,
is she
Probably.
filming between My Name is Earl?
She's done a lot of stuff, though. I know she was on that one show with Brandy, which I never even got to watch the rest of.
Stop yelling.
Right.
Calm down. Calm down, John Matthews. Damn, she was in House of the Dead 2.
Uh,
Same year as or a year after My Name is Earl, so probably before she did that. She was in War, which is no good, right? The incredibly disappointing Jet Li Statham movie.
yes, that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that not being that great.
She was on Major Crimes. I watched Major Crimes. Really? She was on Major Crimes. Okay. Like as a regular. Really? Um, yeah, so she would have been doing that a lot. She was in Ride Along 2.
It kind of, sort of took up where Eva Mendes sort of.
Okay. Because she did, Eva Mendes did sort of
Right.
decelerate from what,
Like it was supposed to be Eva
dude,
Longoria, but
the Brandy Show co-stars,
mm,
Return of Swamp Things, Run Rico Lee.
oh wow.
Where is this show?
Oh, oh,
Yeah, we gotta get back to that filming location because wait for it. It clearly they're filming the same day or something. I don't understand. Isn't the point of shooting someplace cheap that gives you a lot of tax breaks that you can come back and do multiple setups?
mm, oh.
Mm,
So the kid got his ass kicked.
but we're not gonna see him. We're not gonna see him at all.
Why did you teach him how to work out? Mm.
Well, it's also another one of these movies where you can't really figure out. So the reason they broke up is because it's not because she got too old for The Rock. It's because he was working too hard.
Mm.
That was in one of the heartfelt scenes. I think we're gonna have another heartfelt scene in. I wonder if when they were doing the prison interrogation scenes, if they really just made that that 23-year-old keep going back in the fucking like makeup chair. Like,
Bernthal's good, but
yeah, I mean,
said Theo Rossi though.
Theo Rossi would have like. Well, the problem with Barenthal was is he. I no, because in Origin he acts, but like when you do John Barenthal action, troubled man with a past, like there's a reason it works with Frank Castle so well that because like he will do, you know,
God, why did they always have the angry woman throws money?
well, why the fuck did he leave the money somewhere she could find it? So obviously, we didn't even see him get paid.
Oh,
Like we were waiting to see him get paid. We didn't even see that. They brought it up in fucking.
oh,
Oh, she does have a name, Vanessa,
what's she so upset for? I
because
thought we were supposed
she.
to move on up.
No, he didn't talk to her about that. Also, I want to know. I mean, ugh. So I mean, honestly, this would have been a much better show if it had just been about if it had been more trafficky and less like if it were just about like Dwayne trying to fucking corrupt poor John Barenthal while his son tries to survive on the inside. Like if it were just a straight like
Uh,
we're gonna do it because then you would have at least had some subplots of substance
uh,
when there aren't any subplots and there are no like there's all these hints at them, right? Like Susan Sarandon's got her campaign for Congress or something. That doesn't come back. Um, why these guys are going to the Rock's house and threatening the wife? Like that doesn't come back. I mean, threatening the family comes back in a very uh, not. I mean, it's like a exposition point, but it's not like he's not going to rescue the family or anything. Like this isn't Skyscraper for goodness sake. Like we don't have the dramatic stakes of Skyscraper in this one.
uh. Huh.
All right, so we have another 40 minutes or so. The Rock is now just working with Michael K. Williams. They have cut. Um, they've cut John Barenthal out, but has he really been cut out or has he sold out The Rock? And this is all a setup. Only time will tell. This is also one of those movies where I'm pretty sure he has like a 20, just like a Motorola cell phone or something, but the bad guys burner phone they give him will be an iPhone
Huh.
because who did The Rock think he was going to be with this one? Like, does anybody do these?
This is an oddity because honestly, you know what it is? It seems like it might have been marketed as an action picture,
And it very
and it
much
got
isn't. Yeah.
right because this could have really just been done straight. I think
This
it's because of him.
was,
It's because of Dwayne Johnson that they tried to make it look like it was an action movie, but it's really not.
no, it's just a fucking,
It's a thriller if you want to put it under that category, but
yeah. It's a crime thriller.
crime thriller. There you go.
It just happens to be a USA original movie plus USA Extreme. Okay, don't worry, because this is setting up the rest of the movie. I'm still waiting for him to really snitch, but
Yeah, there's not much snitching going on in this movie.
no, like he like John Barenthal told him in the diner where that no one else had any lines or even appeared, because we don't have supporting cast at the diner money, folks. Come on now. Um, they yeah, I mean, really, it's about The Rock doing crimes to sell
Right, to
out his
stay
new
in.
partners and stuff. Like it's not entrapment, but it's I don't know. There's got to be a term for it, but it's just like it's not particularly because he's not going undercover. He's not really living the life or something.
Uh-uh.
Like he's okay. So they're gonna call him at 10 a.m. in 2 days. Pay attention. I think what kind of bums me out is that this is a very, I mean, for lack of a better term, the sort of post heat macho, sort of
Uh,
cinema macho type thing where this isn't really traffic on UPN because there's too much action in it, right? Like, or the implication of action or whatever. But it's also not, there are guys who do and hell, there might even be a couple ladies who direct it that they can bring some have some style to them, even at a low budget. Like,
Mm.
whereas Rick Romanois just lets the fucking. It's just lazy as fuck. I don't know. It's
Uh-huh.
exhausting. It's exhausting. Like, you know who would have fucking bit at this part and just fucking chewed it up and fucking spit out pieces of it like it was a fucking like limb?
Hmm.
I'm gonna say these words and I'm gonna accept the responsibility of it. Susan Sarandon's part should have been played by Stacey Dash.
Yeah.
Just saying the worst things, right? Just like,
Mm,
but at least it would have been some personality. At least it would have been honest, right?
maybe.
Instead, we've got Susan Sarandon, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the problem is, who actually, I mean, not for the bit of being a piece of shit, but like, these are the types of movies where in reality, Christy Swanson gave the best performance.
Oh. The only reason why she couldn't play a part like this is because she still has that voice.
That's true. That's true. She still has the voice. And she actually, Barry Pepper would have been like, dude, I'm not in movies with Christy Swanson. I'm
Right.
sorry. You see Dean Cain around here? Go talk to Benjamin Bratt. Benjamin Bratt might have been in a movie with Dean Cain. I don't do Dean Cain movies. We're not going to talk about the Superman trailer, but I saw somewhere on social media some guy going like, "It's we really erased Dean Cain as an Asian American Superman, and it's racism." And somebody was like, "Dean Cain is an unrepentant piece of human trash. That's why nobody recognizes him." Fucking Lois and Clark had a glow up in the aughts. Like, that is
Mhm.
why he came back a little bit, is because it had a little bit of buzz on like like Netflix streaming.
Mhm.
He's the one who fucked that up because he's a bad dude. He just happens to be Hawaiian, of Hawaiian ancestry. I'm sure he's got great thoughts on like decolonizing fucking Hawaii. I'm sure he's at the forefront of that movement.
Damn.
He's not. Okay, anyway, we're still fucking talking here.
Well, here we go.
Okay, in what universe did we stop having Quentin Tarantino spice up these scripts? Like,
Uh,
remember for a hot minute, all of those fucking Jerry Bruckheimer movies would have somebody like, punch it up a little bit.
yeah, put a little pepper in it.
Yeah, put a little berry pepper in it.
Uh-huh.
Is that can't be a real beard, right? That thing's not.
I don't think so.
Now we're going to talk about how, even though this has nothing to do with um Dwayne's case here or the kid's case, the saddest thing is that white teenagers are stupid and they carry drugs for people on spring break and face the consequences for their naivety. And that is the truest tragedy in the world, per Barry Pepper.
Uh,
Keep an eye on her. Wow, they got your new makeup done that fast? That's really impressive. I just had to put on a new shirt. That would explain why these scenes are so inert, is because they filmed them all in a row.
uh,
I mean, The Rock's much better than I thought he was at this point in time. Like,
well, it's still early enough, and he hadn't quite him becoming like a disturbing entity is a pretty recent thing. I think it all really started when he did more than one movie with Kevin Hart.
it broke him. It broke something
Yeah, it
inside.
kind of broke him. And then that's when he just went into overdrive, where he just did any damn thing. And he didn't think that we didn't need to see him all the goddamn time.
He's a year does he do? I mean, Skyscraper and Rampage were the same year.
Yeah. But then he did the show. He did, there was
That's
what,
right.
the
The
footballers show or whatever.
Ballers show, yeah. The highest rated half hour sitcom and its half hour dramatic series in its time slot ever on the network it played on.
Uh,
They really bend over to make it sound like it was a big success and not some weird vanity project. Because The Rock was supposed to do and he is doing an Oscar bait this year.
mm,
Have you seen the thing? He's the MMA guy from one of the
no,
Safdie brothers. He is doing an Oscar bait. He is setting up a movie with he set up some weird
no.
Scorsese thing.
See, what sucks is if he gets an Oscar, that means John Cena has to try to go legit to do the same thing. When in all reality, it should be Bautista to get the Oscar over any of them.
Ugh. I mm, I need convincing on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Batista.
He's not bad.
Mm. I mean, his timing is fine. Is one of the better things in
I mean, Dwayne Johnson has a shot at it because he can act, but he would have to, you know, there'd have to be a little method going where he have to stop working out and look like a
oh
regular dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, they're
yeah, a big
assuming that.
muscle dude. He wants to do what Stallone did.
And Stallone never did it for actor. He
No,
wants to do what Mickey Rourke ended up in the wrestler position. Yeah. That's what he wants to do. Yeah, no, Batista's willing probably to do something besides that. But yeah, in reality it'll be John Cena and he will get it for a fucking heartfelt rom-com light
no.
romantic drama about
To me, if he
him.
gets one, it's because it's bought.
Does he have a Golden Globe? Um, I don't know though, because he has timing in 30-second spurts for a TV commercial, like,
Mm.
at best, like
And now he's
Senna.
deep into, you know, he's deep into his muscle bound moron era, which mm, that only lasts for so long.
Okay, The Rock needs the number. He's switched trucks. He's now going to get the cash. So he's going to be running the cartel's cash reserves into Mexico. And this is not a situation where they want him to do it on the reg. The implication is not the implication. So what the DEA is telling him is that they are going to wait, I'm sorry, is Barry Pepper playing with his pocket knife? Yes, he is. Okay. Um the cartels are going to kill him after he does this one run because that's just what they do is they find a new person every single time and kill them. Um which seems like a lot of recruiting and onboarding work, frankly. But don't worry, he's got a shotgun. This was after Fury Road. I mean, this, yes, right? Because Fury Road itself was in the midst of all those. No, Fury Road's 2015. But this is after Faster. This is after Fast and the Furious had started doing more of their stuff. So just buckle up for what we're going to get in terms of exciting truck action.
Truck heist.
But first, oh, you shouldn't have trusted her.
Yeah, they always have cousins. Mm,
So, what is John Barenthal up to? He's. Oh, wait, hold on. We need to wait for this amazing shootout. So, this is one of the things that it's just like sort of puts Rick Roman Wah in a less than like this is why I wish this movie had had at least somebody with some panache. How about that?
mm.
Because here's our big shootout. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Nobody ever thinks to come in low.
Or neither of them were like, hey, I could go around.
Hmm.
Because even if the room's not adjoining, the wall is.
Yeah.
Um,
By the way, here's the bomb I have attached to me.
They're not actually on their way. So,
Mm,
all right. So the plan now is for The Rock to call.
mm,
Oh God! All right, hold on. Wait, it's time for some action. Sadly, there are 14 more minutes of movie.
mm,
So they never put the kid into protective custody until it happens off screen because we can't afford a protective custody.
mm,
But they're now going to take out The Rock because
mm.
Wayne, how seriously can you say 555? Like, do they call him Miss? Do you have to call him Mr. Johnson?
Mm.
Because he's not like fun, right? He's not like call me Rock.
No. Ah.
My dad's Mr. Rock. You can call me the. Like he's not fun. Like nah.
Damn.
Oh cool. I noticed this time there's nobody in that car.
Right.
Okay, so Barry Pepper says he has tactical teams en route um to get Benjamin Bratt, who has just left, is what we will
Mm.
discover. But who else will we discover is en route to get Benjamin Bratt? Wait for it. Him!
Mm.
Why didn't he tell him that he was on the way to get
Right.
Benjamin Bratt? Like, also the entire Benjamin Bratt's entire neighborhood is on lockdown. See, the cartel's leader's son is a big wimp. Yeah, USA. It's just like I didn't comment on it earlier, but when Susan Sarandon's line is, "I don't know if you've ever noticed, but we're fighting a war for our streets and for our kids." Though I guess this
Yeah.
is 2013 is oh cool, we had a little bit of video speed up slow down there. That's the other great thing about this action sequences. You can really see where iMovie failed them with some of the composites. But
Mm.
yeah, I guess 2013 is sort of your pot wasn't hadn't started getting legal recreationally a lot yet, so you were still able to.
Wait.
Yeah, that guy just died.
Yeah, but the car just burst into flames.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and there were no, they couldn't, they don't have mannequin money. Come on now. They don't have money to put, not literal mannequin money. They don't have mannequin money. Uh, that is a terrifying thought that this movie cost more than Mannequin and this is all they did for it. But can you imagine how delightful it'd be if GW Bailey was?
oh god.
Oh, okay. I was actually expecting this to be a real action sequence, and then it's not. It's a slow motion flip over. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it confuses me about this one is it's like The Rock doing a movie from like using gritty stylings from 2007, right? Like you recast The Rock as I got caught up in my head in a Sam Worthington joke, but actually, this is the pilot for the Traffic TV show. If The Rock is played by, I mean, realistically played by Michael Keaton, but in my head, he's played by Oliver Platt. And they made Oliver Platt do all this stuff The Rock did. And it's just the pilot for the UPN's Traffic TV series. We're just in that universe. The Traffic is an anthology show where we have slow motion applied to fucking digital video. Look, it wasn't 911 who got there, and instead fucking Michael K. Williams dies, though. Okay, we had nothing about where they were going to stay. We're just kicking off. We gotta look and see who did the music on this, because it was clearly leftovers from a video game. Okay, so here, okay, this is just a. I love this part because it's just a nothing moment. Barry Pepper's like, they didn't pay me for any.
Yeah, I'm out.
We're going to keep talking about how, like, we're going to keep raising throughout this film this question of whether or not she's going to keep her bargain with the kid getting out. Also, he hasn't told any of his family that they all have to go into witness protection. That apparently is another scene we don't get. Then we get this scene where we find out the DEA is all good with John Barenthal killing Michael K. Williams and the three other guys there. That's fine. Also, The Rock's going to give him the reward money for see, it can all work out. It all works out if you're a snitch.
Yeah, if you're a snitch, everything works out in the end.
Okay, but wait. Just wait for the end titles then. God, I didn't notice they were in front of a fucking American flag either.
Right.
Oh. God, look at her hat. We don't get to find out what his wife, his current wife and kid think about the witness protection program. Spoiler, folks. Snitch 2. Still snitching. Coming this fall. On
Infinity
Hallmark
snitching.
Urban. Like, okay, so here we get that what we were supposed to be paying attention to is how unfair it was that all dude did was a little bit of petty crime, and the government was going to lock him up for 10 years and make him, unless he snitched. So it's a good thing his dad was willing to snitch. It's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. So I did not sit through this last night, so I don't know if we have any original songs coming, but I am curious to see who the composer is.
Hmm.
And I guess, like something like this 15 years earlier at least had being like a produced movie in its corner, right? Like, but like this is shot on digital. Like it, you don't have to be that. I actually think this might be a series of Final Cut title things because when I was looking around for our stuff, I think this is just like a bunch of them layered. Okay, anyway, but and JD Pardo's name is familiar. I think he's in something good now or better. But like if you may yep, sorry, Antonio Pinto, you are
Into.
no um I mean shit, man, you're no faster guy. Like, but you're certainly not the fucking traffic guy. Oh, dude.
Hmm?
To find out more about snitching, go to takepart.com/snitch. Wow. Okay. Okay. The judge, despite not getting a line, did get a credit, so she at least got paid. All right. So there is that. Wow. Okay. I've never seen a. Hi, we've identified a really problematic exploitative thing that the government is doing to its citizens. Um, you should really help them out with that. Filmed in Louisiana. Louisiana stood in for Missouri. So next week we are kicking off the summer of sequels, duology summer. Got some things in the queue. I don't know what we're going to kick it off with, but that's what we'll be back with because it is June, folks. Sure, as this airs. Um,
Hmm.
Look at all those assistants. Wow. The director, The Rock, and then very few other people. Very few other actors, because when you're only shooting for 45 minutes, I don't think The Rock has done anything yet with Taylor Sheridan.
No.
That'll really just be gross. Actually, is what it'll be. It'll probably be gross. Like, there was a two-season show sitcom called Rutherford Falls. Pretty good. Got really good. Sadly, in the second season before they canceled it. Though I think the entire production team is coming back on something else. But basically, it was uh, I can't imagine why it didn't do well. It was about a
Hmm.
small town uh, contending with the legacy of stolen Native American land and now the Native Americans having a casino and being the only money in town, and all sorts of things. It was pretty good overall. But one of the things they did was they made fun of Taylor Sheridan shows, and they like all the white people around here are just obsessed with this shitty show, and they'd show it, and it was they were doing a riff on whatever that thing's called,
Huh.
Yellowstone.
No.
So that's
That's
all I've
50
ever
goddamn
seen.
spinoffs.
Yeah, is that version of Yellowstone, and it's oh, we were filmed with Keslow cameras and lenses. You weren't shooting on an iPhone? That's concerning because 2012,
Versions
I
of
get.
events are fictitious, but it was based on a true story.
Yes, it was based on a Frontline documentary. I'm sorry, Frontline episode from 1992.
Hmm.
Oddly enough, the Summit brand has been abandoned by uh, Lionsgate, I believe. So yeah, so this wraps up our rock season on the most. Oh, I mean, I don't. Yes, it's. I don't know. Is it worse than Faster? It Faster's so much shorter and less talky that I think Faster gets the win. Also, Faster just has badly used music, but it's not bad music. Um, and then so yeah, we really did not structure this season well because we started with the best movie and ended with arguably the worst. Whereas we pre-plotted the Michael J. Fox and Eddie Murphy seasons to go out on high points. So this was a choice, a bad choice. We will not do that again with our quartet series sub seasons or seasons. But yes, so we will be back next time with a fine first part in a duology. Got some real a wide variety of ideas for what we're going
Mhm.
to be unleashing upon ourselves in some cases. Uh, all right, folks. Skip Snitch.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that good. Really wasn't. Uh, it's not even not that good. It's just,
Yeah, it's just
it does feel like a long ass pilot to some crime show that never came to be
or a USA TV movie.
original. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been amazing to see this with tough Tim Daly, but you know,
Hmm.
sadly, we don't get that or David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff is a driver you've never seen him like before.
Mm.
I
So
got
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, me too. We'll be back with the beginning of the Summer of Duologies, this year's Summer of Duologies. So come on back.
Wake up and go home, everyone. It's time to wake up and go
Yeah,
home.
get about. Adios. Good evening.